first 1,000-yard rusher here, Jerry. That's what Coach Cummings told me. He said, you're a fool for taking a job at Alva. I said, why is that? He said, you'll never have a rushing team. Well, after spring ball, I called Bob Cummings and I said, Dennis Mosley will be the first 1,000-yard rusher. And he's been rushing about 1,400.
I thought he was a great leader. He allowed guys to coach. He gave you a responsibility, expect you to do it. Keep him, he had certain parameters that he wanted done, and he was very good at selecting a staff. I mean, he had, some people talk about one of the great staffs maybe ever assembled, and guys that went out and became successful head coaches, not just head coaches, but successful head coaches. And I would be willing to guess that the majority of them used a lot of the same type of plan and organizational system that Hayden did.
It's not that they were just good coaches. I mean, these were really good, quality, caring people, good family men, all of them. People that cared about each other. They cared about the young people that they worked with. I can't think of a player that ever had an ill feeling about any of his coaches at the university. I mean, they truly understood that Hayden cared about them, and their assistant coaches, whoever worked with them, genuinely cared about them as well. They were more than just good football coaches.
The time with not only Coach Fry, but Coach Brazier, Coach ALVAREZ, Coach McCarney, Coach Ferentz, Coach SNYDER, on and on and on. Del Miller, right? There were so many great coaches. As a young player and then as a graduate assistant, I learned from the best. I was around them every day for 5 years, and I had to cart Coach McCarney and Coach ALVAREZ around as a defensive GA. Got to sit in with Bill Brazier, one of the best defensive minds and coaching minds that there's ever been in football, every day. Sit in his office, watch tape, ask him questions. He'd always entertain my thoughts. So, I feel very fortunate.
He loves energy, he loves passion, he loves guys that can communicate. I think he'd gotten some good recommendations probably from, I don't know who the heck it was. I don't know if there was at least a couple of good recommendations from somebody in Iowa City, but I think he knew. What I found out, and one of the many things I learned from Hayden Fry, is if a young man doesn't have all the things experience-wise that you're looking for, but he has those other intangibles, work ethic, loyalty, coachable, can communicate, can build relationships, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of passion and energy for life, could be a good recruiter, and a guy that might be a person on the rise, then maybe I'll embrace him, give him a chance, give him that opportunity, and that's what Hayden Fry did with me.
Here they are needing the touchdown. Long has got it, he'll walk in. He faked to Harmon and kept it.
I have to give him all the credit for getting my career launched, my personal career, among others. I speak for many of the Hawkeye football, past, and he had a special way of making you feel good all the time, even in the tough games, even in the tough moments. After an interception for me, he had a way of getting you back up and confident. And that feeling, not every coach has that ability. And I've been around a bunch of them, but not every coach has that ability to make you feel confident and be positive, even in the negative situations.
Hayden always was on the cutting edge, always was looking for the best people, regardless of race, creed, color. And what he did at Iowa, really rebuilding that program from where it was to, quite frankly, national power, to the point where you're able to attract young men like myself from states away who may not have known about the University of Iowa and everything that Iowa has to offer. It speaks very well of not only him, but the university itself being a partner with Hayden to make the University of Iowa brand that much bigger and better.
Hayden Fry in Texas is huge because he's known all throughout the state as a coach for his coaching style and winning, but he's also actually known for being a pretty good football player as well, as from a high school football player playing quarterback. So his name rings a lot of bells. He's well liked, he's well respected amongst a lot of coaches from little league organizations all the way up through professional ranks. So he's well known and highly respected.
To Coach Fry, there you go for the 100th win. Coach Brazier, can you come out here? And Coach Jackson and Coach Patterson? Yeah. Come out in the middle.
Great.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. captains, all my teammates and coaches, and the teammates you had, or the players you had before us. I'd like to give you this trophy in commemorative of your 200th win. You deserve it. We're glad to be a part of it.
Certain people that would lead you to believe that we hadn't done all that well against Minnesota. We were even with them, 7-7. And some of you in here don't know too good of math, but I forgive you because you're not too damn smart anyway. These kids are smart. They got the right date on there, November the 20th, for the 200th victory. I guess they'd probably cost them a little money if it hadn't happened that way, but they made it happen. And that's what sports is all about, taking the critics and the experts and all those people and tell them to shove it. We did this for the black and gold fans, the people that stayed with us.
He's the kind of a guy who would like to give you the impression that he's going to do a lot of fancy things and he's going to fool you. But he really figures to get that football and run it right down your throat, you know. But he would always have 2 or 3 really trick plays, maybe something that you have never seen before. And we used to always spend some time, which I knew made him happy, trying to figure out, well, what do you think he's going to do this time? You know, and with some sort of a fancy play, a double reverse or a double reverse pass or some crazy thing that he would try. But basically his football was just real sound. He knew how to block, knew how to tackle. He was hard to beat. He was just a very difficult coach to beat.
And when you call the plays yourself, I think you retain that quality of what I refer to as gut feeling on the sideline. Paul Bryant was one of those kind of coaches where he'd have somebody on the sideline that he knew could do something that he wanted done at that particular point in the game to exercise opportunity, and yet he might not know that kid's name, but he knew what he could do. You know? And I think Hayden has that quality about him, and it's believe it or not, it's a rare quality.
He's a winner. He was a winner, and Iowans loved it. We like to win. I guess people everywhere like to win, but he brought winning football to Iowa, not only the university, but to the state of Iowa, and we were thrilled with that. And he conducted himself in such a good manner. People fell in love with him.
You make that right move!